This video is to show you how to import an Examview test into Schoology. So the first thing you need to do is find your test on Examview. So I have opened up Examview. I'm going to open an existing test. I'm going to use a lab equipment test for this example. So I already have it made. So as long as you have a test made, go ahead and open whatever you want to put into Schoology. So here's my test. So you need to go to File, and we're going to export this test as a Blackboard 7.1. You can use the Blackboard 6.0 also, as long as it's a Blackboard file. So we're going to export it as a Blackboard file. I like to just put a little abbreviation and put it on my desktop so it's easy to find, because we'll delete it right away. So I'm going to export it. You do have to name it Lab Equipment Quiz. And the other thing, you do have to put in a directory name. You don't ever see this, so I sometimes just put like chem or something. I don't even know what that's for, but you do have to put one in. So it's exporting my test. And now if I go to Schoology, here's my class in Schoology, and I am going to add a test or a quiz. You know what? I want it in my lab safety folder, so I'm going to add it down here. So right here, I'm going to add my test or quiz. You can either open up the lab safety folder and do the add material button, or you can use that little green dash line. Let me show you what that green dash line looks like. Right down here, there's a green dash with a plus. I'm going to add a test or quiz. It'll add it right underneath that link that I have already here. So I want it to be a lab equipment. I am giving it in class, and I'm going to give it on the 18th, so I want it here, and it's worth, I'm going to say 30 points. It is a quiz. If I want it to end up in my gradebook, I do need to add a category. So I use numeric grading scale, so I'm going to create this quiz. So it should show up. Oh, it takes me right to the quiz. I'm going to add questions, but instead of adding and typing in questions up here, I'm going to import my test or quiz, and it is a Blackboard file. We exported it as a Blackboard. You have to click this little file button and find your file. So I saved it as LEQ right here. It's my zip file. It should be a zip file, whatever you named it as. I'm going to open that. It doesn't take long. It says complete now, and I can click import. And it doesn't take much time, and it will have added all the questions. Now this test does have quite a few pictures on it, so it might take a little longer. But here would be all of my questions. It's already in. All of the pictures come across, and everything should look good. I do go and check my settings. The default settings, they have it's hidden, so students can't use it. A lot of times I will just change it. It's available because this is second period, and it's on August 18th. Second period starts around 8:50, so I will usually put the times in. That way I don't have to come in and make it available at a certain time. And let's see, it would get over at around 9:30 is when second period ends, so I'm going to put 9:30. There's no time limit. I'm only allowing them to have one. You can click whether or not you want it to randomize it, and sometimes that's nice. They can't look at their neighbor's computer to see what their question they're on. The other thing is question review. I actually leave this on no usually. That means they'll push submit, and then they will go and have to review their questions and push submit again. And sometimes when I have used it, they forget to hit submit the second time, so I usually just leave it on no. Resumable means they could end it without submitting it, and then they could come back and work on it again and then be able to submit it. Depends on if you want them to do that outside of class or not. The one thing, sometimes if they do get kicked out of their test before they're done in class, they will not get back into it if it's set at no. But you can go in and change that at any time, or sometimes I go into the specific student and make theirs unsubmitted. You can unsubmit a certain student so they can see it again. View submissions. You can have them not view any submissions. This would be yes, and it would show them which questions were right and wrong. Yes with correct answers, tell them what the answers were. So it depends on your what you want to do. I usually will put no if it's going to be an actual graded one that several sections are going to take, because I don't want them to know the answers for the other class and pass that on. They should be able to still see their grade in their grade book. Yes, the yes one I do use a lot when they're doing a practice test, because I have found that they would just go through and check random questions and they don't even try, and then they'll print off the test with the correct answers and just study the test instead of actually having to go back, look at the questions they got wrong and trying to figure out what they did right or wrong to fix that test. So I usually use no or yes. I don't use yes with correct answers very often, but it's up to you. So I'm going to save these changes. And when I go to my lab safety folder, there is my quiz. So it is ready to go already. I can then copy it. I'm going to copy it over to a couple other courses. I have my big long list. So it would keep, I do want it in the lab safety folder, but it will keep the dates and the category quizzes. Now you can do that. Looks like I have to switch that one. And then I want this one, oops, not in the finals, I want it in lab safety, and chemistry 8 also. Okay, and I'm going to copy it and it should go there. So that is how you put your quizzes from Examview into Schoology.